It's right now, and no time for no machine per side. And time for money in a pocket and have things and take care of your family.
Right.
And that's right there. You see what I say? No bad mind of inner the thing. No comes and grunge. You see what I say? Bread must broke, no matter what. And we artists need to pull together. You want more to see happen for Jamaica right now? When Fantan might be chop flesh and move, we have this big museum for all bones are go in there. Shima go in there. Mommy go in there. Mama Helly's go in there and Muta. We want to see the big museum. So here we as the artists have to come and pull together and start this thing.
Right.
When if you see this big museum in Jamaica, so even people left from all over the world and come to Jamaica, them can say, yes, me I go up and I go look on Fantan and him work what him do and Lush work what him do, Butch work what him do. You see me I say, Shabba work what him do and Ray. We want this big museum in Jamaica. So government and heads and leaders, you know, listen me.
See them?
You know, call up the whole of we as entertainer, and we're ready to come sit down and talk about one setting of the business and get the things straight and right. I'm on in now.
Kwame a smoke, Kwame a smoke, Kwame a smoke, Kwame a smoke. Politician put it in your budget, put it in your plan. Elect Muta fi be the herb, MP. Elect Muta fi be the herb, MP. Elect Muta fi be the, elect Muta fi be the herb, MP. Anna Helly's Kelly fi run the herb pharmacy. Anna Helly's Kelly fi run the herb pharmacy. Anna Helly's Kelly fi run the herb pharmacy. Sell it to eBay, take the picture, the picture, the picture, the picture.
IRFM wishes to advise that the views expressed on the Cutting Edge are not necessarily those of the company.
To your radio, Cutting Edge is on your stereo, yeah. Mutabaruka leads the way, so just you let the station play, yeah. Say your teachings got to hold on me, yeah. Well, this is Kimani and you're listening to, Mutabaruka, IRFM. Cutting Edge. Whoa.
Teach these truths to you.
You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Good night. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. There next Wednesday. You're listening to brand new CD by Harold Davis. Instrumental style, bringing back the ska for the next level, but including a little touch of the reggae and the rock steady. Harold Davis. You know, we have an interview line up with the son of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Yes, we have an interview with him, Ishmael Muhammad, coming up at 10:30. So we're going to just go and juggle some music until that time. It's all about the 19th, and it's the 19th anniversary of the Million Man March that will take place at the National Arena this month. So we're going to talk to him about it. That is the son of Elijah Muhammad, Ishmael Muhammad.
Always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
RFM, #1 radio station in the whole wide world.
Dirty piece of rhythm, yeah, man. Me I tell you, Sly and Rabbit, dirty, flirty, yes. Why you love slide on by now? Yes, brethren, trust me, man.
Why are the people starving? Because the rulers eat up the money in taxes. Therefore, the people are starving. Why are the people rebellious? Because the rulers interfere too much. Therefore, they are rebellious. Why do the people think so little of death? Because the rulers demand too much of life. Therefore, the people take death lightly. Having little to live on, one knows better than to value life too much.
You know, at them music, you have to balance your sound system, you know, because the bass will just jump out of the box by you. Yeah, man, may I tell you, man. Yeah, music called Dirty Flirty coming from Sly and Robbie. This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. And you know, so we are continuing the instrumental vibe. Yeah, we are continuing the instrumental vibe. Yeah.
October 16, 1995, under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, over 1 million men and women marched on Washington in the historic Million Man March. October 19, 2014, 19 years later, leader of the Nation of Islam, Minister Louis Farrakhan, delivers the 19th anniversary Million Man March keynote address at the National Arena in Kingston, Jamaica.
We can't cover things up, give it a pretty sound to make people feel good. We have to go to the root of the problem.
Join me, Kabu Ma'atkiru, Mutabaruka, and the IRFM Outside Broadcast team for a live broadcast of the Africa Forum Running African from the 19th anniversary celebrations of the historic Million Man March, brought to you courtesy of the Nation of Islam.
Take this pledge with me.
That's a live broadcast of the Africa Forum from the National Arena, Sunday, October 19 from 6 a.m.
I will strive to love my brother as I love myself. Let's look at a speech delivered by a white slaveholder, Willie Lynch.
as we promised you, we're going to speak to Minister Ishmael Mohammed, National Assistant of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and son of the Most Honorable Elijah Mohammed. You know, this month is a very historic month. This is the 90th anniversary of the Million Man March. And on October the 19th, this month, the National Arena will host the Nation of Islam. We want to speak to the Honorable Ishmael Mohammed. Good night.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I should say salam alaikum, you know.
Wa alaikum salam, my brother.
Blessings, man. Give thanks, you know.
Yeah. I should say Rasta, man.
Yeah, you know, I heard you speak already, you know. I mean, I think it was in New York. I was at a function and you was there.
Okay.
Yes. That was a long time ago, though. A long time ago. You know?
Okay.
Where you live now? Where are you living now?
I'm in Chicago with Minister Farrakhan. I've always been there.
Yes.
That's my home.
Yes.
Yes, so that's where I reside.
Yes, okay, give thanks. All right, the son of the Honorable Elijah Mohammed. I mean, how is that holding out with you? I mean, for so long now, you have carried that heavy load as the son of Elijah Mohammed. How are you holding out with that name and that, you know, the father of the head of the Nation of Islam?
Yes, well, you know, I am certainly older, but it does not lessen the weight of being a son from such a great man that God gave us in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I try not to think about that kind of burden and the expectation that places in people who naturally will look to the family of Elijah Muhammad and his sons to see those that would carry on his great work. And I'm just blessed, my brother, to have in my life Minister Louis Farrakhan, who lifted up the work of such a great man. And if it were not for Minister Farrakhan, the name of Elijah Muhammad and his work would be written out of history.
I agree with you. I am totally agreeing with you. For the listeners, there's a young listenership to this program who have heard about the Muslim, the Nation of Islam, which we used to call in the younger days the black Muslims.
Yes.
And also, they might have heard about Elijah Muhammad, but take us back to as far as Farad. Could you just explain to the listeners the genesis of the Nation of Islam as it relates to Farad, the revelation by Farad to Elijah Muhammad, and reaching down now to Louis Farrakhan, and you have all the time to say it, so you can just give us the details of it.
Yes. Well, the Nation of Islam has its genesis and start with the man Fard Muhammad, who came from Arabia, from the holy city of Mecca. And before he introduced himself to black people in Detroit in the year 1930, he had been coming in and out of the United States for 20 years, studying the mindset of the former slave master and the mindset of the ex-slave, to come up with a methodology that he could reach the black man in America with, that would awaken the black man to the knowledge of himself, the time that we are living in for the rise of the black man and the original man, the aboriginal people of our planet. So after he studied and coming in and out of America for 20 years, he made himself known in the city of Detroit, Michigan, in what is called Black Bottom, Detroit. And he went on the streets, knocking on doors, introducing himself, and the way that he introduced his teaching to us is he was a salesman who was offering silks, and this was a way that could get him into the homes of our people, that they would get a chance to listen to what he had to say about our history and our future. So Fard Muhammad worked in Detroit, and he did his work for 3 years or so, nearly 4 years. And of course, Elijah Muhammad, who was Elijah Poole at that time, came and visited one of the meetings after his wife had told him what she had heard, the man that she had met, and how she felt that her husband should go and hear this man and what he was teaching. So Elijah Muhammad met Fard Muhammad, and Fard Muhammad took Elijah under his wing and tutelage and taught him for 3 years and 4 months, nearly night and day, and gave to Elijah Muhammad the history of the black man, the history of the Caucasian white man on our planet. He taught Elijah Muhammad the time that was given to the white man to exercise his rule and dominion over the Dhaka people of our planet. He taught us and taught Elijah Muhammad about life on other planets and gave to him the measurements of the planets from Mercury to Pluto, and he taught him all of the measurements of the planet and Earth on which we live, and how much the land is, and the waters, and the rivers, and the lakes, and the oceans, and the mountains, and the isles, and the deserts. And he gave him what is called actual facts. And in all of that knowledge, then he left Elijah Muhammad with the mission to take that knowledge to our suffering people in America. And of course, the rest is history. From Elijah Muhammad, we get Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Imam Waratuddin Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan, and the Nation of Islam, with a body of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, a discipline. He's teaching us how to eat, to live, and what foods we should stay from, and to respect our women and our girls, and how we as men should be providers and protectors of our women and our children. He taught us everything that we needed as a people to become a new people out of the destructive impact and consequence of 300 plus years of chattel slavery and 100 or so years of injustice and oppression, that from that condition, a new man and a new woman could be produced and introduced to the world.
Give thanks. All right. Now explain the difference between the Orthodox Islam and the black Muslims, and also how did the Quran connect to the black people in America as it relates to the interpretation and also well, I wouldn't say different, but diverse relationship between what we call the Orthodox Islam and the black Muslims in America?
Well, first, the Quran is a revelation from God. It is a revelation that comes after the revelation that we have in the Torah and in the Gospel, Injil, or New Testament. And the Quran is a book of revelation that is not to be looked at for Muslims only, but it is a revelation to all the people on our planet who have been given scriptures and revelation from God, who believe in what God has revealed to them through the prophets that he has raised. So the Holy Quran is a book of scripture that gives to us the best that comes from the Torah, from the Injil and the Gospel, and it gives us guidance into how we as human beings should live our life in accord with the nature in which we are created. So that is what the Quran represents. It's for the human being, and it is for the whole of humanity. Islam is the religion not of Muslims, but Islam is Arabic term which means submission and obedience to the will of God, and it means peace. And we say that all of the prophets from Abraham to Muhammad, they all taught the same religion. Obey God. Be obedient to God. Be submissive to God. And Islam has 5 fundamental beliefs and 5 practices of which every Muslim that claims to be a Muslim believes in one God, believes in the prophets and his messengers, believes in the scriptures, believes in a day of judgment, and believes in a hereafter or paradise. So that's the universal concept of Islam, the universal belief system of Islam. And so when it comes to the nation of Islam, those principles are practiced, those principles are believed in.
Yeah, all right. But all right, what I want you to do is connect the interpretation of Islam as it relates to what we call black Muslim, as opposed to the Arabs have an interpretation, and I think most people interpret the Arab interpretation of Islam from a Arabic cultural perspective that does not necessarily connect to what the Quran is about. And the black Muslims' interpretation of the Quran is related to the rising up of the black man in America and all over the world. So we need to, I think we have to separate what is Islamic culture as it relates to the Arabs and what is Islamic belief system.
That's right.
As it relates to both Arabs and black Muslims.
That's exactly right. So, and that's what Far Muhammad, who was an Arab, who came from Arabia and established the nation of Islam, he did not want us to follow Arab culture. He wanted us to grow in the purity of the revealed Word of God that would give to us our own identity.
Yes.
And that was so important because we had to distinguish ourselves as a people based upon the pure Word of God. And so what Elijah Muhammad did, which was so valuable to us, and what came out of what he taught us was black liberation theology, is because he made the Bible and the Quran relevant to our struggle as black people on this planet. And it took away out of the religion that had been introduced to us, Arab culture or European and Caucasian culture influence that always had the black man looking up to white people or looking up to Arabs or looking up to a Jew. And looking at them as being divine, and we are supposed to be, you know, the drawers of water and the hewers of wood and the servants of them. So Elijah Muhammad was able to show us where we were in the book of Genesis, in the 5 books of Moses, in the Torah, and all the way through to the New Testament, into the book of Revelation, as well as the Quran, which gave to us in the nation of Islam our own separate identity.
Yes. You find that a lot of people who is moving towards Islam now, you find that, well, this is a question, you find that they are more relating to Arabic culture rather than the Quran as it is set out by the Prophet Muhammad. I find that there's a lot of interpretation that is not from the Bible, from the Quran, but it is said to be Islamic.
No. See, the Quran and Islam, which is the fastest growing religion on the earth, and it makes everyone who's already secure, and this is very important, brother, who's already secure in themselves, in their own identity, then the Quran only enhances and gives you guidance from the Almighty that makes you a better human being. So Arabism or Arab culture isn't even in that. So when the Muslims that join that are from China or from Russia or from the Isles of the Pacific or in Africa, see, once you already know who you are, then you will not be victimized by those that represent Islam, that tend to be the face of Islam, which is Arabs, but you will not assimilate and adopt their culture because you're already secure in yourself.
All right. The reason why I ask that, is because it is said that there's about 500 Westerners. Most of them is from Europe and England, and so much from about 15 from America, is joining up with this ISIS group. And we know that this group ISIS and this group Al-Qaeda has been using the name Muhammad and the Quran as their justification for what they are doing now. And what I'm getting at is that could this be that it is Arab culture that is driving these groups, or is it the Quran itself that is at the helm of these upsurge of these groups? Or you see that?
Well, I think that, everyone that has their agenda will always try to find something in the Word of God that justifies their action.
Yeah, I agree.
You see? So,
because people have been using the Bible for that too. A lot of wars have been raised in the name of Jesus.
Exactly. So, there's a whole lot of killing and ordering of killing by God in the Bible. And those that want to put a negative light on Islam, they never lift up how God told his servants to go in and kill everything in the town and in the city and the livestock. See, they don't talk about that perspective of God from the Bible, but particularly where it comes to ISIS or ISIL, I tell you the truth, brother, I'm still trying to learn who these people are. because it's not clear who they are and really what their overall agenda is.
They said that.
So I can't comment on who they are and what their activity is and their overall objectives.
All right. What I have heard is that they are relics from the past regime of Saddam Hussein. They are soldiers who was part of the Saddam Hussein army and force, who has now gotten hold of money, oils and things, and is now raging a war against that supposed to be democratic state that the Americans are supposed to be put there. So they are now against that supposed to be democratic state that the Americans are supposed to be put there. So they are now rising up against that. And part of them, the strategy and the unity that is shown amongst this group is indicative of people who have military training. That is why America seems to be in some serious headache here now, because here is a group that is not haphazard, but they are actually fighting in a military form, not just like terrorist form, but military. They have their whole thing together. So I think it is very interesting. It's very interesting what is happening.
No, you're right. It is. That's why I said we're trying to study it more ourselves, because it's very interesting. But I will say this: isn't it interesting that every one of America's enemies were once on her payroll?
Was our friend.
Isn't it interesting that everyone that's her enemy now used to serve her interests, including Saddam Hussein and Iraq, including Osama bin Laden. All of these people were on the payroll of the CIA and the U.S. government. So something is not right with what we are seeing.
And not only not right now, but they cannot now say that the enemy of my enemy is my friend, because the enemy of Assad is ISIS. But now America cannot say that ISIS is their friend because they're fighting against Assad. Because Assad is also their enemy and is also American enemy. And now ISIS is also American enemy. So the enemy of my enemy is definitely not my friend.
Right. Well, let's come back home to Jamaica.
Yeah, no, I was just putting that in there to make it, to just widen the conversation. Yes. So on the 19th, the anniversary of the Million Man March will take place. We want to find out what is the format, what will be the format on that day.
Well, we hope to have many of our gifted and scholars to have a word to share from our community here in Kingston and from the island of Jamaica, certainly from our Rastafari community, which I had the pleasure of meeting and being with many of your brethren this evening, and I really enjoyed meeting those from some of the houses and mansions.
Yeah.
And so the platform, to have Jamaica, to speak to Jamaica and the Caribbean and those from around the Caribbean, and then, of course, the day belongs to Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Okay. And this is like from 2 o'clock. And how long will this program last for? From 2 to what?
2 to no more than 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay. So the people have to come early then, because and not only that, we will be there also with this radio station live from 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
We'll be there from 6 o'clock in the morning.
It's very important, because as I've gone around the city and meeting many wonderful people, and just the common man on the street, and what a beautiful people you are, my dear brother, and the great future that Jamaica has, even though things are so difficult right now, not only here in Jamaica, but all over the Caribbean. Black people are suffering all over the world, and the one thing that we have to do, we have to fall in love with ourselves, and we have to find unity among ourselves, because that is the strength that we need to overcome the forces that wish to destroy us as a people and really exterminate us as a people off this planet.
Yes.
But what I want to stress is that the event is for the entire family. And it's for women, it's for children. It is not a reunion of men simply because it is it's billed as the 19th anniversary of the Million Man March. But what we are celebrating is the beauty of that day 19 years ago that God blessed us with for the first time, that 1 million black men, 2 million black men went to Washington, and we went there to make a demand of ourselves, and we didn't demand anything of the government. We didn't ask for jobs. We didn't ask them to give us justice. We went there and put ourselves before the world to accept the responsibility to correct our own condition. So the celebration is that message that Farrakhan delivered the day, and the message that he will bring once again to Jamaica and from Jamaica to the world on the need for atonement, reconciliation, responsibility, and our unity as a people to solve our problem. So it is for the entire family, and of course the event is absolutely free.
Okay, give thanks. So that is the 19th, and it's a Sunday, the anniversary of the Million Man March, and it is starting from 2 to about 6 p.m. And as you hear Cabo advertising, we will be in there from 6 o'clock in the morning. So
yes,
we give thanks, Minister Ishmael Mohammed, and we're hoping to see you soon.
I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Yes, sir. Give thanks. Give thanks.
All right. God bless you.
Yeah, man. Yes, that is Student Minister Ishmael Mohammed from the Nation of Islam, and he will be here with Mr. Louis Farrakhan, plus about 2,000 other visitors outside of Jamaica coming to celebrate this historic occasion in Jamaica. Remember, Elijah Muhammad from Farad Muhammad. Interestingly enough, it was the same time Haile Selassie was crowned, 1930, when Farad went to America. It was the same time Haile Selassie was crowned at that time. And the Rastafari movement rose up the same time when the black Muslims rose up in America. And the interpretation, and this is very interesting, the interpretation of the Torah and the New Testament, they interpret it in order to facilitate a logic that define black people existence in America. And we see that the Rastafari has also used the Torah and the New Testament to define them existence in this part of the world against white supremacy and colonialism. Very interesting. This is the cutting edge. Minister Louis Farrakhan on the radio.
That's the only way we're gonna be free. Everybody singing this sweet refrain. Sing this melody till it gets in your brain. Well, I'm talking to you, Muslim, Christian, and the Hebrew. Anything to do, we got to unite, or else we are through. Everybody singing this sweet refrain. Sing this melody till it gets in your brain. Everybody singing this melody. united together. They even united in Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Angola. And Puma's vision will light the world over from Cape to Cairo, one Africa. Everybody singing this sweet refrain. Sing this melody till it gets in your brain. Come on to it tonight. Brothers and sisters, let us unite.
Yeah, you're listening to Mr. Louis Farrakhan singing Unite.
Listening to Mutabaruka.
Always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we spiritually deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition stripped of our names, our language, our culture, our country, our God, and our religion. Tell me why. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten through the preacher. And he has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Heaven and hell are just two conditions of life, and they're both right here on this earth. Tell me why. So let's check back into history, which rewards our research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe on the level of the beast, eating the bark of trees and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then following many of his explorers, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. And from the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, deceiving, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So my friend, it's not hard to tell a white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East by the Nile River. Living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold for the wealthiest and the wisest people untold. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. It's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell that a white man heaven is a black man hell. someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man. So he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. So my friend, it's easy to tell that a white man heaven is a black man hell.
Listen to the man called Louis Farrakhan. The white man heaven is the black man's hell. Forward.
On the Africa Forum, Running African, this Sunday, October 12. What are we going to tell our children about their future? Has the government of Jamaica already signed over hundreds of acres of watershed lands at Roaring River in St. Anne to China? Why are fishermen and shop owners at Fisherman's Beach in Oterias being pushed off their lands and the beach? Who is behind this latest act to deprive fishermen of their livelihoods and Jamaicans of access to the beach? Plus, how is the Caribbean dealing with chikungunya and the enterovirus D68, which has left 4 dead and over 500 hospitalized in the United States? That's the Africa Forum, Running African, this Sunday, October 12, 6 to 10 a.m. on IRE FM.
Yes, you are gone for so long with your love for Valentina.
Yeah, this is the cutting edge. We want to play this. Yeah, we don't play it. Yeah, we have to play it.
Red man, you have to fight for your land. Just like the days of old, you'll have to be cold and bold. Don't let the white man tongue fool you. Don't let his papers fool you. With tricks and lies, he's told the land. Refuse and resist the white man plan. Stand on big mountain, it's your ancestors' earth. Land is power, without it life has no worth. Stand on big mountain, you'll have to be strong. Good must overcome, the struggle is long. He came to Turtle Island with fire water in hand. Gave it to the red man and stole his land. Gave us an image of Indian so wild. The image we got on the screen as a child. Who is to blame? Who is to blame? I say the image of John Wayne. Don't let the white man tongue fool you.
REFM, thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Red man, you have to fight for your land. Just like the days of old, you'll have to be cold and bold. Don't let the white man tongue fool you. Don't let his papers cool you. With tricks and lies he's told the land. Refuse and resist the white man plan. Stand on big mountain, it's your ancestors' earth. Land is power, without it life has no worth. Stand on big mountain, you'll have to be strong. Good must overcome, the struggle is long. He came to Turtle Island with fire water in hand. Gave it to the red man, then stole his land. Gave us an image of Indian so wild. The image we got on the screen as a child. Who is to blame? Who is to blame? I say the image of John Wayne. Don't let the white man tongue fool you. Don't let his papers cool you. Don't let his firewater get you down. Stand up and fight for your piece of ground. Stand on big mountain, it's your ancestors' earth. Land is power, without it life has no worth. Stand on big mountain, you will have to be strong. Good must overcome, the struggle is long. In African Asia, he went to civilized nations. In the land of liberty and justice, he has reservations. On the big screen he played his silly game, using the image of John Wayne. Robbing and raping, he stole the land. Refuse and resist the white man plan. Don't let the white man tongue fool you. Don't let his papers cool you. Don't let the ancestors die in vain. You have nothing to lose, much to gain. Stand on big mountain, it's your ancestors' earth. Land is power, without it life has no worth. Stand on big mountain, you have to be strong. Good must overcome, the struggle is long.
Scholars and scientists now concede that Africa is the birthplace of mankind. Africans were the first builders of civilization.
Look, yeah, you cause all the black scars. Yeah, and you boast about all the things that you have.
Yes. There's a series of music here where I tell a story. You know, say, my phone light up and the phone over there light up, but this tune I just play what we do. The poem named Big Mountain. What people don't know, so the Native American call America Turtle Island. That poem was done when we go spend a couple weeks amongst the Opie Indian them in Arizona. And when we do that poem, it was almost like a hunt amongst the Navajo, Opie Indian them, and some Indian were there way up at the top of Canada there. I don't remember them call a group there for like Canada. It was a big well, I don't know, it's not a song, it's a big poem amongst the Native American them when we bring out that, because what did surprise them is that was a Jamaican. Them couldn't believe that a Jamaican did really take the struggle of the Native American them so serious. Anyway, some people say, Muta, you have to play about that poem there now. I'll force me hear it, you know. People vex. Hey, the people are going like they hold me things, you know, right? They hold me program. So Muta, you have to play about that tune there now. Well, why you know my brethren from Rum Lane, you know, Rum Lane man call and say, watch a Muta. You see that poem there? Believe you me, you have to play it back. So here we to facilitate this thing, you know, we have to play it back. Plus, and every time we get to play a poem them over and over, and people call and say play it back. So we're going to play it forward for you. Here goes.
Red man, you have to fight for your land. Just like the days of old, you'll have to be cold and bold. Don't let the white man tongue fool you. Don't let his papers cool you. With tricks and lies, he stole the land. Refuse and resist the white man plan. Stand on big mountain, it's your ancestors' earth. Land is power, without it life has no worth. Stand on big mountain, you'll have to be strong. Good must overcome, the struggle is long. get you down. Stand up and fight for your piece of ground. Stand on big mountain, it's your ancestors' earth. Land is power, without it life has no worth. Stand on big mountain, you will have to be strong. Good must overcome, the struggle is long. In African Asia, he went to civilized nations. In the land of liberty and justice, he has reservations. On the big screen he played his silly game, using the image of John Wayne. Robbing and raping, he stole the land. Refuse and resist the white man plan. Don't let the white man tongue fool you. Don't let his papers cool you. Don't let the ancestors die in vain. You have nothing to lose, much to gain. Stand on big mountain, it's your ancestors' earth. Land is power, without it life has no worth. Stand on big mountain, you have to be strong. Good must overcome, the struggle is long.
Yes, this is the Cutting Edge, and I from there with you. We've been talking about this thing here between me and Andrea Williams, and we don't know if it's listen them now, listen or is what. But we have realized that there is a direct stigma now on Africa. I don't know what is happening. Well, I know what is happening still, but if there was a time when people don't want to hear nothing about Africa, a relationship to even go in there now is no. Believe you me, trust me, man. I tell you, you see the airwaves and the news. If there was a time when people don't have nothing to do with Africa, is right now. When we hear even Yasso, you hear them are restraining you from going to Africa and not well. I just hear the minister talk. Well, make totally now make a distinction. Because every time the man they talk, you know, after a while they have to go back now, go recant what them say, you know. Because we have heard him say one thing before, but a while ago on the program with Keshima them, we hear him now specifically talking about the west coast of Africa. Now, people don't want to take up certain things, you know, but we here have to really give the people them it as how it go. We hear Cabo talking about the distance, and this is very important, the distance between Liberia, and when I talk about Liberia, I'm going to talk about the west coast of Africa. The distance between, if you look on your map, and I would empower anyone now who's listening to me, go find a map of Africa, find a map of the world, and look on the map, and you will realize, guys, we have to defend Africa, you know, and we not defend Africa out of blindness. We not defend Africa out of no romanticism. Me I defend Africa upon a reality level. And I am quite aware of what is taking place in Africa. So we don't blind ourselves to where we are going. In a Liberia, in a the Congo, in a Guinea, and some part of Sierra Leone, we now blind ourselves to it. But here we are saying so now. We want to put the thing straight again. And we're going to keep repeating it, you know. We not stop repeating it, you know. We not stop repeating it because there are forces out there that exactly how we are thinking now is exactly how them want you to think. No. Here we are saying so now. Cabo make mention of the distance between where this epidemic is taking place and where other countries in Africa is. Because we tend not to remember that Africa is a continent. And we will not, we will continue saying this thing until people understand where we're coming from. Okay. She told you the exact miles between Liberia and the east coast of Africa. Now, if you have a map, you can look at it. From Liberia over one side, to East Africa over the other side, to South Africa down at the bottom there, so, to Ethiopia over the top over there, so. Ethiopia, they are the northeast. Liberia, they are the west. Sierra Leone, they are the west. West. Senegal, they are the west. And then you have South Africa, they way down at the south. Okay. Right down at the Indian Ocean. It's just the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean meet. Right down at Cape, the Cape there, so. The Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean meet right there, so. Okay. Now, nobody is taking into consideration that this Ebola thing is traveling with people. Let me say, this Ebola thing is people are traveling with it. Like most disease, people travel with it. But this Ebola thing is more even dangerous than anything we have ever seen in a Jamaica. Don't mind about the chikungunya. A chicken gonorrhea, me call it, because I should tell you why I keep saying chicken gonorrhea. I'm going to tell you exactly why I say it continuously, but make I go to the point here. The distance and the traveling, the amount of people, the amount of Africans that leave West Africa on a daily basis per flight. Listen to me, I say carefully. The amount of Africans that leave Africa on a daily basis on a flight to Europe is much more than Africans taking plane to the east coast of Africa. When I ask somebody that, because me, dip on plane and see when the plane start out, how it full, and when it reach a certain place, you can't sprawl out na the plane because the African them come off a certain place. Belgium, France especially, because you know say France have a lot of colony around that area there. You have Mali. You have the whole of North Africa was part of the colony of France. Most of the people that talk French. You have Senegal. You have Togo. You have Guinea. All of them countries around the so. French them talk. So most of the people them always gravitate towards them colonial country. Just like how we now used to gravitate towards England, and just like how the Ethiopians them gravitate towards Italy. Anytime you take a plane from Ethiopia, the plane full of Ethiopians. But when it land in a Rome and ready now to leave Rome to go to England, the plane half empty. Because most of the Ethiopians them come off in a Rome. In Italy. It's like when you take a plane from Jamaica, everybody who take a British Airways plane, except for maybe musicians and politicians, who take plane for go to England, most of the time we're actually not going to England. But most of the people them were dip on the plane are come off in England. When we take plane for go to Europe, most of the time you take the plane because the route to Europe is easier if you go to England and then take a flight to go over into Europe. But the British Airways or the other one, Virgin, when it reaches England, that is the end of that. And you will find Sometimes when we are go through the customs and then if we take the bus now if we go in at the next airport, you find all those 2 Jamaicans who go and say, boy, you want to say we are go over to Germany, you know. I wish part of not play. You want to say we are go over to Italy, you know, or you know, we are go over to Belgium or France. Which part of not play. But small amount of people actually come off of the plane en route to Europe, because we're a British colony, and it is same thing with the French colonies. Now get back to what we are saying. The possibilities, and this is what we're talking about, the possibility of Ebola reaching France, Spain, and all the former colonies that is in Europe, the possibility of Ebola reaching those countries is much more than the possibility of a South African, the country South Africa, getting this Ebola into that country, because you don't really find much Liberian traveling to South Africa or Senegalese. I took a plane a couple years ago when them did have South African airline from New York. South African airline used to go New York. Well, it started New York. It go to Cape Verde, land in Senegal, and then on its way to South Africa. You see, when you're in New York, the plane full of Senegalese and white people. Well, you see, hey, they can't, watch out. Nobody, nah. I mean, I tell you this, no. Nobody, nah, gonna make me get scared, you know. About Africa, you know. Them nah gonna make me turn around and not talk about this, that, our America, we want to go on all them things there, you know, because, watch a man. When you take the plane, the South African airline, and mostly white people there on the airline, and Senegalese. And me as a little Jamaican sit down there, and me I watch this thing. Boom, the plane land at Cape Verde. Hardly anybody come off of the plane. You see when the plane land in a Senegal, Dakar, the plane half empty. Half empty. And we are using the word because we're not going to say half full, you know. We are say half empty. It's when me sit down, it's when the plane lift off from Dakar now, because the distance now, you know, get far now, you know. A long flight that I know, you know. That's straight now from Dakar to South Africa now. We can count the amount of black people there on it, you know, but a pure white people there, you know. And pure white people there, the other day we are going to South Africa, you know, from Atlanta. Me I tell you this, you know, I mean, I exaggerate the thing, you know. But there at Atlanta, I take a flight for go to South Africa. And trust me, me can count the amount of black people there on the plane. A pure white people there on the plane. I go to South Africa. And it's not South African white people them neither. It's business people. We are dealing with business in South Africa. All right. We is not stupid. Because to say Liberia and that part of the world have this thing, you know, and we are going to push up ourselves. The problem I have is when them have a scare tactic, we are telling you, say, we not got Africa, you know, because Ebola down there. And then he said, but wow, so what happened to France? A woman who never got Africa yet catch Ebola in a Spain. We don't know how much people she contaminate yet. In a France, in our next country over there, so we don't know how much people they contaminate in a Europe yet. Yet till me know say artists go to Europe more than how them go to Africa. Artists go to America more than how them go to Africa. Artists go to America more than how them go to Africa. We're going to tell you why we call Africa America in it. Artists go to Europe, go to France, because France is a big market for reggae. there are more reggae artists in France and Germany than Africa. They are scaring the people them to say, don't go to Africa. And as we say, we just hear the minister recant this argument. No. Him said, not Africa really, but the West Coast. We're not stupid. We know. It's only a stupid person who that say Liberia have so much thing, and a man say, boy, you want me to keep a big reggae concert in a Liberia, and then you go there. That means it ain't no sense. But for God tell me now, say, Africa, like how me hear this little brethren, where the brethren do the sound system last week, where name again? I thought say, I'm going to ask the government to stop people from going to Africa because they're afraid of this thing, Ebola thing. So, we not to go to Africa. Yet still, them not talk about France. The possibilities of Ebola taking effect in France is more than in the possibility of it taking hold in South Africa. And more than the possibility of taking in Zimbabwe, in Ethiopia. And when I said can't reach there, no, because it's also it's a stupid if you say it nah reach there. But we're talking about possibilities. The possibilities that the nearer you is to Liberia, the possibility of you getting this disease in terms of traveling, and there are more Africans traveling to Europe because it's nearer to them, and the opportunities in Europe is much more than to go over to the other side of Africa because same poor people over the other side. So what them go invent a disease now to connect over the other side of Africa. And then we do it too. They have to go invent a disease now and say, see they now, a next disease over the east coast of Africa, you know, so we don't go Africa at all. Because one over the west, one over the east. But here the problem with them have now. The problem with them have is that them send a brother with Ebola go in America. Them send a brother in America with Ebola, the brother dead, and them have all over 100 people right now under quarantine. For say, look you now, what a terrible thing this now. Texas, one of the largest and more conservative part of America. Listen to this because down the bush come from one of the largest part of America. Texas, the place where was once Mexico, where them thief from the Mexican them. And in land turn thief from the Native American. Texas. The possibility of you going for an American tour. Listen to what I say. The possibility of you going on an American tour that include a big market for reggae like Texas and Nebraska and Hawaii, where the Ebola disease trump up, and Florida. Hey, what a sitting. Florida, Hawaii, where the Ebola disease trump up, and Florida. Hey, what a sitting. Florida, Hawaii, Nebraska, Texas. Where is the warning? And we are defend Africa. Because I know so you have a South African embassy here, so you have a Nigerian embassy here, so you know, and me can feel it for the South African them when them hear people are shout out about don't go to Africa because you would have catch Ebola. And they hear artists know a cancel show. A cancel show because in fear. Because I mean I fight against Luciano, you know. I fight against Luciano, but you know. Me remember me remember when the plane crashed, you know. When them lick the two plane them in a I'm a brethren, you know. Luciano, I love you more than Jesus love little children. That's why I tell you this. We love you more than Jesus love little children, you know. But when I say that a personal lick, you know, but it's a personal lick. You know what I say now? When the two plane them crash in the thing, and them say no plane attack, it's like everybody gets scared about flying. man start to say, why them don't know about this going to America. You understand? Now we hear the same artist come now and them say Ebola. Him have 3 show. 3 show in a 3 different country. South Africa, Malawi. We go to Malawi, we go to South Africa, we go to Ghana. All of them places there. Where they are the same, him cancel the tour them. And then we hear them a lick against man now, we go to Uganda. But 4 different artists just come from Uganda a while ago. So we have to go wait till 21 days before we see if them catch Ebola. Because that is the fear. The quarantine for tourists is not in effect. The quarantine for tourists is not in effect. Because if you go through American immigration right now and you're coming from any part of that part of Africa, them going to have a thermometer in your face, a test to see if you have a high temperature and quarantine you. Go check you out. So make sure. I mean, nobody now complains about maybe Africa in general now, because the thing that go wrong here, so no. Africa in general, they're going to lock you up fire now. I want to say lock up, I really literally lock up, because they're going to put you in a quarantine and test. The guy will catch the Ebola with them saying go America dead. And him was connected to him family, and him isolate him family, and him is now them say over 100 people is in quarantine, and we know that 100 people did connect to maybe a next 100 or 200 people, because if one man make 100 people get quarantine, then we are looking at a ratio of 100 people make 1,000 people good have it, according to mathematics. Because 100 is like 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000. So we are say, if you use the mathematics, one man make 100 people get quarantine, or 100 people now, they might investigate 100 people. Therefore, those 100 people might have in contact with 1,000 people. How come we don't hear them attack say, you have any tourists who come from Texas to Jamaica? Me nah create no problem, so you know, but the enterovirus D68 continue to make its rounds. We read this last week. At least 21 states have reported cases of the rare virus, which was first reported in the Midwest. It has been suspected of infecting children across the country with severe respiratory illness, and now it's migrating to the northeast. I want you to listen to what we are talking, you know, and listen to what Cabo is saying, you know, because it's not a joke thing, you know, because them have played this song, you know. More artists go to America than them go to Africa. There is a virus named D68 that has infiltrated America. We have never heard of this virus before. Never. Them say they did it all the while, but I have never heard. And the reason why you hear about it now, which we don't hear about it in other news business, them not blowing it up. Them not blowing it up big. For sure you say it is a danger, especially to children. When I come and fight, you know, because you're going to hear the same thing tomorrow again, you know. You're not tired for hearing it. We're going to take this break and come back. This is the Cutting Edge. The time is 2 minutes past 12. Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge. Yeah, we are talking about the D68 virus, which has been downplayed. This is a disease of its genesis in America, and it's affecting young children. As a matter of fact, I am told that 2 children died this week from this virus. So let me ask the ministry, not the minister, the Ministry of Health. Is there precautions? Are there precautions in place? I'm seriously ask this question right now. Because them are going like say. And we are say, are there precautions at our airport? Because the Chinese and the Americans are the two largest tourist people that is coming to Jamaica. And a lot of them come with their children. Especially like now, when the fall is coming on. And especially like this report that I am reading says, the report is saying that, I could find the right place here because we're not coming off fight and we have to say it over and over. It has been suspected of infecting children across the country with severe respiratory illness. That means that if the youth have asthma and them thing there, the most likely it will affect them more. And now it's migrating to the northeast. So them pick up this virus from the Midwest. And now it's migrating to the northeast of America. This is America we are talking about, not Africa we are talking about, it's America. This marks the first mass outbreak on record for the virus. It typically affects young children with asthma and other breathing problems. All right. What I am asking the Ministry of Health about is, are there any precautions in effect at our airports to find out if children who are coming from America is tested for this virus? Because them don't want to mash up the tourist industry now, so they will blindside it. They will shut them eye to these things. They will shut them eye to it. But if them here say, yeah, go to South Africa tomorrow, here them going to say, we're asking you not to go to. No guy. If me get a flight right now for go to South Africa tomorrow, me gone. No guy can stop my freedom of movement. Because what is happening is unfair and it's almost like a conspiracy. It's almost like a conspiracy that is developing. That here is it, that there's a disease in America that is affecting young children. And we don't hear the ministry talking about it. We don't hear the ministry saying that we have in place things to rectify or to test these people. Just like, oh no, if you say you're coming from the west coast of Africa, you're landing in America, them going to have this temperature check in your forehead. Them hold up the machine in front of you. Them don't put it on your arm like normal temperature thermometer. Them hold it on your forehead, and if you're too hot, if when them look on the thermometer, them say your temperature gone at a certain level, them go and carry in a little room and test you because them going to say, yes, see, there have Ebola come from Liberia, come from whatsoever. Well, what is it that is in place in Jamaica to protect our children from any little child that is coming from America with this D68 virus that is sweeping America and is killing children? What we say? And that's what we want the ministry to talk about too, you know. We want him put in place, just like how hear this. We want him to listen to these things we are going on, you know. Yes, we want to listen. I say, we don't romanticize America. We don't romanticize Africa, you know. But when I see right now, it's almost like a conspiracy going on, you know. When other things are going on, where we must look on and we are blindsided because the big bad America is put it. Hear to this. Listen to this. The Agriculture Ministry says Jamaica is prepared for an outbreak of porcine epidemic diarrhea which affects pigs. We read that last week, so I'm going to read it again. Listen to this, you know. The ministry, me never hear about this disease yet, you know. It's the ministry are going to make me know about this, you know. The Agricultural Ministry is saying that there's a disease, a diarrhea that is affecting pigs. The disease has already been detected in North America. Them not detect no chance yet, you know. Just like how them not really take Ebola, so them say. But hear them say they are prepared for this pig disease. Now granted that them say this pig disease, though is not contagious to human beings, but we cannot trust them. We're not trusting them because we are importing pig meat from America. And granted that Mutabaruka don't eat pig, but I am very concerned for people who's going to buy ham and all these things from America in the supermarket, that these ham is coming from America. This pig disease is contagious in pigs. So there's no report of it affecting where we eat or where Jamaican people eat. But as I say, we cannot trust them. But the ministry is prepared for this disease. The Ministry of Health is also saying that they are prepared for the Ebola disease. What about, because they never prepared for the chicken gonorrhea, you know. What about the D68 disease that is taking all of America, that has killed children already, especially children who have been found with asthma? This disease is affecting these children, and we know that a lot of these American children is coming to Jamaica with their parents. What is it that the ministry have in place to safely guarantee, just like how them know a guarantee against Ebola, and I tell you, say, don't go to Africa. What is it that is going to guarantee us that this tourist influx, especially in this time of the year, when tourists start to come to Jamaica, when the place start to get cold in America, what is it that is going to guarantee we Jamaican people, that our children will not take up this D68 virus and then kill off some away? What is it that is going to guarantee that some tourists from Nebraska or Hawaii or Texas or Florida will not now buy a ticket to come to Jamaica? Or some of our musicians, because the argument is about musicians, because musicians are tour more than politicians. Trust me. Musicians. What is it that is out there that is saying to these musicians, look here, some people have been found. Well, make us say one person. One person have been found with Ebola in Texas, but they have quarantined, or they are investigating 100 people, and the person who carried there dead today. Them can't go America, you know. And them can't go America. When them go to hospital and tell them say him sick, you know, them look on him good and say, "Oh, you know, sick, go on home back, man." So it's when him go back home, you know, the amount of people who him go touch up, that's on now and sneeze, but and all them things that you know, say 21 days from now, you're going to hear how much more people get it. We are saying, is there a sound to the musicians? No, we're not talking about when the ass gone through the gate. You understand? Because what we realize that these people is very reactive. They react to things after the effect. Just like the chicken gonorrhea thing, they react to it after. We are saying, no, we don't see no outbreak of Ebola in America, but we see one person dead. And we are told that in Hawaii, in Nebraska, and Florida, somebody has been tested with this thing. No. Oh, we don't hear before the thing was out that we are warning people who's traveling to these areas in Dallas. One time we used to travel to Dallas all 4 times for the year for the show. We are say, oh, we not hear nobody warn the Jamaican artists to watch him take a show in Dallas. Cowboy, place that, you know. Dallas, Texas. Oh, we not hear nobody warn. Before, you know, because we might have said, well, it's only one man dead from it, but we are proactive, we're not reactive. We're not reacting to the something after. We're going to deal with it before it happens. So that it don't spread. Like, oh, them never deal with this chicken thing. Them never deal with it, and it busts out per way. Me just wait to get my own, you know. And me know say Brian say he can't get it, you know. Alright, Brian say he can't get it. Me not say you can't get it, you know. But me I say, you see me now, me not say me can't get it. Me no want to get it, but, you know, me know me live amongst everything and the mosquito them a fly all over the place. But me give thanks to you say you can't get it, you know. You have faith by yourself and me give thanks to that. But we now go wait till the thing happen. To tell the people them say the possibility of it happening must protect yourself. And it is the duty of the government to protect the people them from things that they themselves cannot protect themselves from. Now, where is the warning about D68? Because we're going to call it D68. Remember that word. D, not a word. Remember that letter and this number, 2 number. D68. It's a virus that has penetrated America right now and is raging havoc on children them. Because it is children, you know, you might not hear about it now, because it's America. Them keep it cool. Because right now it's the Ebola. Everybody's attacking the Ebola. You have disease right now that is affecting me. 25,000 people. 25,000 people just get dengue in China. And it's about how much people them said dead already from it. I read the article there. A portion of people dead in China from dengue. Last week is happening or not. Them say it's the biggest outbreak of dengue in the past 25 years. What the hell is happening in the world? Is where I go on. What is happening? Them say the biggest fallout of dengue in China in the past 25 years. This is happening as we speak right now, the outbreak of dengue in China. We are now told that somebody in Nebraska test for Ebola and Hawaii. You know, all of these places is America. What about the D68? We're calling upon the government of Jamaica. We are calling upon the government of Jamaica to recognize that the D68 might be worse than the chikungunya. The D68, especially our children who is not in a no good healthy conditions and the health service is not up to standard like America. Our susceptibility to this disease might be much greater than a little American white youth who catch it, because him have certain things that is protecting him in the health service where him can't go there and don't get. That's why so much people not dead yet. Because the health service in America is much better, 1 million times better than Jamaica. So we hear about the sickness and the amount of people who are sick, but we hear about a few deaths. The possibility of more children dying in Jamaica from this disease is much more than America. So what we're going to do now? We're going to wait till we hear, because some of them go to detect this disease and don't even know it, you know. And that way I say, you know, some of the doctor them not no sense neither, you know. Some of the doctor them because them never say that thing and them say, oh, a cool you have, man. Go take that and that. Because them don't know what you know, say, you know, some people say them have the chicken gonorrhea and it's not really chicken gonorrhea, you know, it's dengue. Because you see a mosquito that bite the dengue. The same mosquito that spread the dengue spread the chicken gonorrhea thing. And then them say, no, okay, well, there's no cure for that. But what happens now when a little child go to a doctor and the doctor cannot detect what this thing is because them don't used to it. Them don't use to this thing, so them don't know what is it to prescribe to this thing. So them just have it off and say, oh, you have asthma, oh, it's an asthma attack you have, you know. Go take an inhaler, which is not that. It's D68. Who are they to make us keep putting down ourselves because of big pharmaceutical, big industries and big business people who find themselves in Africa and need to do things to control and manipulate Africa? But here, it not going to work. So you know why it not going to work? So because this man go in America. And by the way, last week when we mentioned this movie named Outbreak, I don't know much people go watch it, but obviously some people go look on it, you know. The Outbreak movie is starred Dustin Hoffman and Morgan Freeman, and it is Ebola. Or what it is that they must show you how a man take a monkey. Hey, mosquito in here? You know, mosquito bite me, Rasta. Mosquito bite me, Rasta. All right. Me not joking, you know.
I must have seen, man.
I'm seen. Yeah, I go to my seen store. Yeah, you hear me I say no. I have enough seen enough. Enough. But you hear me I say no. The movie says that a man take a monkey from Africa and carry it going to America, and the monkey, the cage with the monkey in a drop, and the monkey escape, and the monkey start to affect the people them. I don't remember if it's bite somebody, and this Ebola thing start to spread. And it go in a little town, and them have a martial law, where the army now come out and say, look, you know, nobody must be found on the street, or nobody must move from this area. So the people them start to die in this little town, and dead start to be like a normal thing in this little town. So them quarantine the town now, and if you leave the town, them going to shoot you. And them a plan to bomb up the whole town. They have plan to blow up the whole town, you know, because them realize there's no saving grace. One monkey, you know. One monkey. People talk about mosquito. Me a little man on the TV said, the mosquito fly from over there, so come over there. So it's stupid. I mean, ignorance. But one monkey stop the show. So what them do is now say, well, them are quarantine this town, but the possibility of this thing getting rid of is the only way to do it is to kill all of the people them in the town. I see me Ebola disease, you know, but here a man just emailed me last week and say, when me I said, Muta, you realize say that the man who come to America with the Ebola disease in September him come there. You see the monkey in the movie. Why listen to them not easy, you know? You see the monkey in the movie, in September I'm going to America. I say, well, what I think, maybe the man is really a monkey incarnation. I don't know. Maybe it's incarnation, but the seriousness of it is that once again Africa has been demonized. Once again, black people is supposed to now reject Africa. Because that's what was happening with the AIDS. Remember the euphoria over the AIDS. Remember AIDS, when AIDS come? No, sir, me not go to nobody, me not touch nobody. It's a Batman thing and all these things I want to talk about. You know, say, me not go, no, sir, yes, and me not like gay, no, because gay man had spread it and all them something there. I'm going to find out, say, foolishness. Because you have more heterosexual catch it than gay people. And the only reason why them start look about it is because one of them big actors, Rock Hudson, big movie star in them days there. Them go find out, say him have AIDS. Them say, what if Rock Hudson have AIDS? And then Friday say, what Rock Hudson was now a man, a woman, man as usual, but was a man. So that alone made them feel it as a gay disease, but it wasn't a gay disease. According to the information, that disease was created in a laboratory in Fort Detrick in Maryland. All information point to Fort Detrick in Maryland. That disease was created there. And the virus was spread there by the World Health Organization. Because it is not a green monkey that have it, even though them say that. Because the people them in Africa was eating this monkey for hundreds of years and they never have AIDS there. So how the hell, all of a sudden the green monkey start to get the people them this virus named AIDS. So the AIDS scare was exactly like the Ebola scare right now. If anybody can remember, just remember in the 90s when this scare come, maybe it's far back as the 80s too. When this scare, it's 80s, 90s, when everybody talk about AIDS, you don't want nobody touch you. No, you can't. AIDS are going to spread because if a man touch you, a man actually said, no, you can't. A man can't touch you. You catch AIDS. Your people are saying, a foolishness. What I mean? A man said, no, it's sex, it's blood to blood business. Jamaican people, they still have all this superstition, this conspiracy theory, all right, about the AIDS virus. No, a man that prefer AIDS now than Ebola. Because how them project it on the screen, it's like it's the worst thing ever happened to humankind. It's the worst thing ever happened to humankind, you know. This Ebola, you know. But it's when AIDS did come around, it's the worst. That's all the religious people, them, you know, start to say, this is what now God make to wipe out all the homosexual community. Me remember people used to say that. People used to call upon this radio program. People used to call upon this radio program and say, AIDS, according to for them religion and Bible, AIDS there for wipe out homosexuals. Because from a man lay down with a man, God must punish him. Yet still, San Francisco, the capital of homosexuality, have more homosexuals now than ever before. And AIDS still exists, but guess what? Anybody talk about AIDS again, you know? Well, now is the time for Ebola. We don't know what next year might bring. They might just create a worse virus that if you look on a man, you catch it. The people are not easy, you know. They was experimenting with a drug in Iraq. This is no conspiracy theory. I don't know if you can find it by your internet there. They was experimenting is a what they call it neurological virus. That what it does is make a heterosexual become homosexual. I don't know how these people come up with these things, you know. Believe you me. Are some evil man them, you know. Evil. I don't know why a man would want to make a drug or a virus that make a heterosexual become homosexual. And this was them intention. And you know, so them make things that, what we call it now, genetically modify human beings, not only them body, but also them thinking. So right now, Ebola is the it thing disease on the chart. Yeah, you have in Jamaica, it's the chicken gonorrhea that is the #1 disease on the chart. The other day it was dengue. You understand? It was like dengue. How much years ago the dengue epidemic did come out there? You did have the dengue epidemic. And the dengue epidemic was like, wow, you know, terrible thing. Dengue now is the chicken gonorrhea. The chicken gonorrhea now is the thing now that is happening to Jamaican people. Jamaican people have all sort of things to say about it instead of deal with the reality of the situation. And now everybody is fearing Ebola to the point when all them are tell we the artists, not only, and I want to clarify it, I hear the minister say, him not telling people not to go to Africa, him is specifying the west coast of Africa. We hear him say that, but you still have people, I say Africa. You still have people that say Africa. We are say, we're not stupid. As only a stupid person would have want to go Liberia and want to go Guinea, Congo, Sierra Leone at this time. Yeah. But no guy can't tell me something enough to go Africa. Because when I hear them tell people they enough to go America. Because I have 3 diseases there right now where we have to watch for. One is a disease where affect pig. The next disease is a disease where affect children. And the next disease where them say come from Africa, which is Ebola. What a thing we find ourselves in. What a thing we find ourselves in. So how are we going to confront these things? Are we going to wait on the government to act or react to situation that has caused us to be deaf, dumb and blind and sometimes kill we? Or are we going to take responsibility for our actions and doings so as not to expand these biological warfare that is taking place against us? Because I am still to hear how much white people get the disease and how much of them dead. I'm still to hear that. Because, and this is something that is on CNN, the question is asked, how is it that this black man, who is the first person recorded to catch Ebola, to reach the shores of America with Ebola, and how is it that him go to hospital? Because these are serious questions, and even the CNN people them ask it. Even the CNN people them ask it. How is it that this guy go to hospital? And when him go to the hospital, them send him back out of the hospital. Make him go off effect. Make him go to his family and friends. And then him get sick more and him go back to the hospital. And then when him go back to the hospital, them say, where Ebola am I? But not only that now. Him needed blood. Him need a blood infusion. And the guys them on the television, on the news say, if him did get the blood, him wouldn't dead yet. Maybe not yet, but maybe he wouldn't dead at all. Yet still not a photographer, a white, that's why people have to look on these things, you know. I say, well, oh, you gone there, so. But you have to go there, so, you know. Because it bleared in your face, you know. Bleared in your face. A black family sitting in a car, and a policeman tell him to come out of the car. And the man argue with the policeman, and the policeman take him gun and mash the man car glass, you know. And take one of the stun gun them, you know, and stun the man. With him pick them at the car. This is a serious. This just happened today, you know. Or yesterday. Yesterday. This happened yesterday in America. A man a drive him car. The policeman stop him. The man say, where is your, make us see your license. Come to put your car. The man say, why must you put your car? And 2 pick them in the car, the wife in the car. The policeman take the gun and lick out the car glass. And take the stun gun and stun the man and drive him out of the car, you know. A black man. The man want blood. Nobody give him blood. Yet still a white photographer who it is alleged of Ebola now. It's found with Ebola. This is the next man now, you know. A different man this now, you know. Him come from down there with Ebola. A white man. And them give him blood. Oh, we must look on that. As people who are searching for a colorless society. We are looking for a colorless society. Why is it that it always look like black people are searching something? Alright. Some people, I would buy people not say them thing here, you know, but me no miss it, you know. Some people in a Ferguson where the policeman shoot, they fire, kill the brother 10 what name? Where the brother in a Ferguson. Anyway, them shoot him. Must fire 10 bullets in him and kill him. Alright. Some people yesterday I demonstrate our football match in a Ferguson, right? And some white people, Cardinals, they might defend the Cardinals team. The people them over one side of the road are demonstrate to make them voice heard say, oh, them not really charge this money yet and all these things. That only part thing, but with them not do yet. The white people them who are defending the Cardinals come out of the stadium and start to mock the black people them over there. So hear them I say because them are defend the policeman, the white policeman who killed the black man. Hear the people them a shout out. That's all the black youth pan the CNN, you know. It's shocked about it, you know. That if you say something where you normally hear a CNN man say. Hear the people them a ball out. Man, we free you all. It's time you go back to Africa. Why? Shout loud, you know. And some racists shout out again, you know. We free you all. Why you don't go back to Africa? These white people came to America and kill off the Native American them, you know. Take with them land and make them illegal. And now them tell people must go back to them land. When them don't go back to Ireland and Scotland and England. Because they thief land. A capture land, them are there, you know. Them capture the people, them land, you know. And now them dead, so now, and I tell people must go back to them land because them free we, so we must go back to Africa. It's not a bad idea, no, but who is them to tell we to leave America when them they don't thief America from our next set of people? So, the D68. Remember that, you know, because you're going to hear more about it, you know. The D68 is a virus that continues to make it rounds at least 21 states. We're talking about America. 21 states have reported cases of the rare virus, which was first reported in the Midwest. It has been suspected of infecting children across the country with severe respiratory illness. And now it's migrating to the northeast. Health experts say the virus typically pops up around back to school time. They caution that it's on the move and could potentially hit every U.S. state. This not come out and not when them call the newspaper, Observer Gleaner, you know. And the Observer Gleaner, me I read, you know. It say, health experts say, the virus typically pops up around back to school time. They caution that it's on the move and could potentially hit every U.S. state. Whether or not your child has asthma, that would be the time to call your doctor and say, listen, this is unusual or more than I think my child usually get. This marked the first mass outbreak on record for the virus. What is happening? It typically affects young children with asthma and other breathing problems. Like me, you know, that will affect me, you know, because I'm a child who have breathing problems. Where you laugh at? I'm a young child. You think to them people like that. By the time it reach Jamaica, it that only children it go affect. What are my granny? You think for them people that, hey, we not trust them, you know. By the time that this D68 reach Jamaica, you think I'm going to pick it to go affect? But it's terrible to go affect the children, them, you know. Because you remember, our health service is not in good order, you know. So can you imagine D68 reach us? So I mean, I put no scare tactics on the people, that I just say, same like how we are treat the possibility of Ebola, even though Ebola is a more dangerous disease, according to them, we must recognize that this disease is also dangerous, especially to our children. This marks the first mass outbreak of recorded for the virus. It typically affects young children with asthma and other breathing problems. Most of our children them have asthma. Rather said there are many different kinds of the D68, which is all right. There are different kinds of this D68 virus, such as some common cold, but D68 is a different breed that's more severe, particularly if they are asthmatic and the medicine doing just fine, and then suddenly are having more problem. That's a child you really want to get to your doctor. Some mild symptoms of D68 to watch for include fever, runny nose, sneezing, cough, and body, and that no sound like the chicken gonorrhea. Hey, whoa, that no sound like the chicken gonorrhea. Fever, sneezing, cough, and body and muscle aches. Most people you say have the chicken thing, them have fever and muscle ache. Right? I don't know if nobody have no cough still and a sneezing, but it sounds like a similar thing. So it's a strain. All right. Rator said there is no treatment for the virus. I wonder if you not listen to these black people. Ministry of Health, I wonder if you gone to your bed. There is no treatment for the virus. It's not the chicken gonorrhea me I talk about, It's not dengue me I talk about, This disease is passed through from children to children. It's not mosquito we are talking about, It's not mosquito going to go bite somebody and somebody come to Jamaica and then the dengue mosquito bite them and make you catch it, It's children going to come through our airport, going on the beaches in Jamaica and traveling through the country parts and seeing the little native black children them. And them say, oh, look at that fine native black child. You want a picture? I say, yes. And they give the child $1 US. And the mother grab the child and say, come and take a picture with this little white girl. She look pretty. Mom, you want her ear to do? We can corner her ear, Sharon, come here. Come take a picture with this little white girl. Hug her up now. Where you going like, you idiot? She not go bite you. Hug her up. Whoa. They do little pity now, our little pity them shy, The white people will run, go hug them up, but they little pity shy, But after them to say, not now go wrong now, them look, hug up. And I'll say that here, hit him. You think I know? I'll be a calf, I don't good have it. All of a sudden, you look at white people say, hit him! You're the mother now. Oh my God. You see, the first time she hug a black baby, she started to sneeze. So right now, it's like when a Rasta in a elevator with a whole heap of bank people at elevator, When them pray, elevator now have no hear or come out or come in, And somebody poop. And not necessarily the Rasta, but everybody turn around and look for the Rasta. Everybody turn around and look for the Rasta. They might come for lunch, When them done yam the whole heap of protein and carbohydrate, that say that stink like we all 3 days, go to the bathroom and all them something there. Them Lego one in the elevator and every eye just turn on and look on the dread. Like say I'm most the dread. After you don't eat your nice vegetables and drink water and all the things. We have to take bad thing make laugh, but this is a serious thing. See it? Serious thing. There is no treatment for the virus, but it's manageable with certain medication, and a child will eventually recover. For as large as the outbreak is, this virus is seasonal, so it's likely to go away. All right, no. I don't tell you about the chicken gonorrhea too, but guess what? The chicken gonorrhea stay in you, Maybe you don't catch it again, but it's staying in you, so you continue to have certain little pain in your, you limb them. And children, it has been recorded that this week 2 children died. And it's not the first 2 children. that dead from this D68. We now come off it. You know, so little more we dip on the stepping razor from 2 to 6. Believe you me, if we take up the whole program with this, we're going to take up the whole program with it. Because a scare tactic them are used per way. Scare tactic. Freedom of movement, freedom of speech. And we have sense. We want the ministry to know so we have sense. No guy can get me. If you give me $1 million if you go to Liberia right now, if you do a show, I'm not going. But what? Liberia is not Africa. Liberia is one country in Africa. So don't come tell me about say we're not to go to Africa. Stepping razor 2 to 6 Thursdays. Now we are on the cutting edge. Yeah, this is the cutting edge. And we're not going to make things happen and then talk about it. We are talking about it before it happens. So whosoever, you know them say if the watchman see the danger and don't warn the people, them say the blood of the people will be on his shoulder. You see true, me don't want the blood upon my shoulder. Me I use the airwaves to warn the people. Me I warn now. Warner. Me I tell you not say warning. Because them are warning about the chicken gonorrhea and them are warning about Ebola, you know. But there's a disease that is near we, a virus that is near we. That the possibility of we having that virus is much more than the Ebola. I'm telling you that because they're nearer to you and you have more people that come here in a Jamaica here than how much people are left here and come from Africa, come here. So the possibility of this 68 reaching Jamaica is much more than the Ebola reaching Jamaica. Because, as me say, I don't have no artists that go to West Africa more than so. Most of them are go Uganda, Kenya, you know, South Africa, them place there. Now when I say the disease couldn't go from the one place to the next place, but the possibility of you catching D68 is much more than you catching Ebola. And the government, you have to know what about them prepare for pig disease, diarrhea and the pig them prepare for Ebola, them claims that them prepare for the chicken gonorrhea thing. And then 2 years ago, when we play the tape where Cabo do, 2 years ago, and them say about them prepare for it, or you can't prepare for it and the thing reach a stage. Or can you prepare for something and you make it reach a stage now that you, the head of the government, go down our constituency, forgot show people say she help clean up the place. That should have done years ago. Years ago. That should have done. No, which was just informed that we were talking about the D68, so now remember it, you know, repeat after me, D68.
D68.
Remember that. It's in 45 states, and this is a news that we just get you know. It is in 45 states, and Washington D.C. has confirmed 664 cases. Listen to what we are saying now. We're not saying these things to create no mischief, you know. We're saying these things because these are facts. This is information that you need, and we can't wait for the government for wait till the ass go through the gate. You understand? So when you hear about this thing, you know, and we done warning already about it, we don't want 1 year down the line, you hear say the government I say, oh gosh man, you know, say a whole heap of children is dying from this thing that them call D68. And them can't come tell you, so we never tell them. Listen to where the information I say. What I'm telling you? Oh, more information? Oh gosh, man, I get enough information at the middle night. Can you believe that? We have to go repeat all these things at the day. I don't like do the same thing. Upon the two program them, you know, but this is of vital importance. I want my program manager not say me I repeat the program them, you know, but there comes a time when you have to repeat certain things. You understand? Because the people them good all go sleep and over here and we know say certain people are going to listen at the day when never listen at the night. All right. We are rectify this thing here. Washington D.C. with Yeah, in Washington, D.C. Yeah. Okay. All right. It no make no difference still. The disease, according to the report that we're getting here, the D68 virus is in 45 states and Washington, D.C. Okay. And there are 664 confirmed cases and 4 deaths. We did hear say 2 deaths too, but now we are being told by reliable sources that 4 deaths, 664 confirmed cases, and it has now crossed the border into Canada. Canada and America are the same country, but them doesn't make it look like another same country. But I know most Canada they like America, believe you me. Canada they like America, but even now, the virus left America, crossed over, gone through Niagara Falls, and gone up in Canada. 4 deaths. That is where them say 4 deaths. 664 confirmed cases. 45 states, including Washington, D.C. D68. Whenever you hear the minister mention anything about that, we never hear, because it's hype now, Because everybody are going to make moves. First of all, everybody are going to make song about chicken gonorrhea, and then everybody are going to make song about Ebola next. Because everybody are going to make moves. First of all, everybody are going to make song about chicken gonorrhea, and then everybody are going to make song about Ebola next. Because that is the way of our artists. Songs. And then the people them instinctively so brainwashed into them thinking that, when them say Haile Selassie dead, me remember I drive pan bus, I go home. Me used to live at Red Hills. And I say, yes, Rasta, no God dead, what I go do now? And I say, wow, that I was from 675, Them say Haile Selassie dead. So Rasta, no God dead, and them a mock you. But from 75 until now, the Rasta community niggle, if there's any word, trillion. We don't know what kind of word that, but we can't create anything nowadays because them create a name chicken gonorrhea with a chicken gonorrhea and an African thing. But when I say that is, we say this, that the Ebola is what is the number one, like it a move up to the number one now, The chicken thing is the number one now, but dengue come like it gone way down at the bottom, even though them say sometimes the people them have dengue and them think it's the chicken thing, but it's really dengue. And then now you have the D68 and move up the charts. But the government is saying nothing about this disease because it's coming from America. You see, if the D68 was coming from South Africa, you'd have heard, see them and another disease rise up in a South Africa named D68, but it's not Africa this disease has come from. And it don't kill as much people as the Ebola. But we never can tell what will happen if it reaches Jamaica, because, we're going to repeat it again, Jamaica Health Service is not as responsive and responsible as the American Health Service. So when we hear about 4 deaths is the only because when them catch it in the child, them can rectify it easily. But this is a so-called colony of England, and it is a so-called third world country. And when these things rise up amongst us, the possibility of it all in power picnic, the white tourists, you can just imagine people. Oh no, watch out, the little people never play with the little black picking them out nowadays, I think it's joke we make. Not joke we make. We take bad thing, make laugh sometime, but it's a serious thing. We're calling upon the government to really look into this D68 thing. You cannot say we never tell you. We tell you no. We cannot say we never tell you no. We tell you no, you know. We don't want next year them time you come, we also will pick them. I go back to school and can't go back to school because there's a virus that we never did a take out, the D68. And everybody ever say, well, you know, the first me hear about this thing, yeah? And that never say, you know, the first time hear about it, you know. Just like when we play about the interview with Kabudo with the minister, with the thing, and they said 2 years ago, them know about this thing, yeah. But guess what? Them never prepare for it. And it's when the thing gone through the gate now. You hear everybody say, well, clean up your plate. You know, long way I tell people, you know, long way how much years now stepping with that on the program? 2 years this month. Next month make 2 years. Plus cutting rate. We do our television program. Simple Muta. We will go down in our gully, a grand spend. And stand up in the gully and I show the people them the garbage and I say, oh, if you do this, oh, no, recognize, say, the garbage want to throw in the gully. The CFX pad, the ministry shall pad them. And we are trying to make it as graphic as possible and I show them, say, look here. Anytime when you throw it in the gully and rain fall, it go and wash, go in the sea. And the fish go and eat it. And the fisherman go and catch the fish. And then go down a farm, we name the farm, Greenwich Farm, and buy the fish. And then go and carry go home on a Sunday evening and cook it and eat. Not only where the fish eat, which is the same nuts, and it's what them throwing in the gully. But when you go and also eat the whole heap of mercury in the fish. A long time we are telling them that. Nobody not go and say, Muta taught them foolishness there. The people them see over the yard and throw the rubbish in the thing. We are telling them to stop, piss, pan the light pole them. People should be arrested. Because some of them man they dig so small that them have to push it up near the light post and make the light post and rub it up and the light post to make the piss come out. It's a madness. Them should arrest them. People are driving in a car and in a minivan. They might eat the chicken and the this and the that, and then throw the styrofoam box outside at the window, on the road. Jamaican people not to say on the nasty and enough to do them something there. We are preaching and tell the people them this. Now something happening in Jamaica, the government has stepped in and I tell the people them say, look here, Babsy Green say a 70 truckload of rubbish it take from the Spanish Town High School. 70 truckload of rubbish, and before she do that, them did a burn rubbish before them reach there. How the hell somebody can take 70 truckload of rubbish from one area? So where the garbage people them there? When you throw your garbage out the road, the chances of a dog come turn over the garbage heap is much more than a rubbish man come take up the garbage. Because them not have the structure, the infrastructure to take up garbage to the point where it don't scatter. Because you have some dog on the road, you know, them sit in the yard at daytime, you know. But it's night, them going to look dog, you know. Them going to look bitch. You know, see, that bitch, them going to look on the road and walk up and down. The mongrel dog, they prowl up on top of the road and on a prowl. And when them prowl, and then can't find no bitch. You know what them do? Them just jump down your rubbish heap and turn it over in the middle of the road. Right away, this a nasty is that. So when the people then pack up them rubbish and put it in a good garbage container, the garbage man not come for it. So you know, it's a madness. So apart from the people them nasty, the government nasty too. Because the nastiness come from the top of the stream, you know. The nastiness stop at the bottom of the stream, you know. At the top of the stream. So what we do now? What we do? We protect ourselves. So when we do things like these, it's not mischief we are creating now. We just have to say, look here, don't wait till the ass gone through the gate. Prepare for these things. Because so it go. This is the cutting edge, yes.
Yes, Muta, Mandingo.
Oh, Mandingo, you do my long time, you know you're Friday, you know, Bridget.
Yes, we
real. But me I tell you, man, is African History Month here. But we know every month is African History Month, but them call it October here like that, you know.
In England, yeah.
Yeah, but really, really vexed, just like you and all conscious Africans, man. To hear the scare tactics coming out of the so-called Ministry of Health about people not to visit. Africa is the second largest continent on the planet. The fact that, as you said, totally correct, it is totally understandable to say avoid going to West Africa, Liberia, Nigeria, and so on. But Africa, being such a large continent, places like Uganda, South Africa, Kenya, many, many thousands of miles away.
Yeah. And if they fire than France too. If they fire than France.
Farther than France and Germany and places like that. This type of scare tactics is also designed when you're telling people not to go to Africa, Africans not to go to Africa. It's designed to foster a fear of going to Africa by African people abroad.
Meanwhile, white people still are going there.
You can't get them out of the damn place.
Meanwhile, them still are going.
You can't get the Europeans out of the place. You see, this is one of the things, you know. When you hear some idiots, I mean, I use the word idiots, miseducated fools amongst our race, talking and criticizing Africans abroad who go to Mother Africa, they don't realize that you cannot get Europeans and others from going to Africa, you know, because they're always going to Africa and living in Africa. And as you mentioned about the D68, why Ferguson as the health minister, why doesn't he say, do not go to the States, which is very, very close to Jamaica, because that's a credible threat. This is hypocrisy and scaremongering in the land of Marcus Garvey.
Virgin?
Who vote so-called parties pay lip service to. Because up to now, I'm telling you, Muta,
it is distressing.
I'm vexed.
Yeah, I'm very distressing, Rasta. Last week, a virgin run a sound system. Him say he might call upon the government to stop people from going to Africa. And I asked
say what?
He might call upon the government to stop people from going to Africa. So when I answer and I say Africa is not a country, it is a continent. Him call back and in an argument with me. Now me hear the minister say that they recant it. No, and say West Africa. Just on the program a while ago, before my program as well, him recant it and say West Africa. You know, see. And
what you know why him recant it is because of the pressure from Africans like I and I.
Yeah.
Why recant it, you know? So it is never recanted because I wanted to recant it, you know. And it shows the importance, as Marcus Garvey say, of propaganda and of our vigilance to defend our interests. Yes. Because if we did shut up our mouths and don't say nothing, yes, there would be no recanting.
And not only that,
it's our action. Yes.
And not only that, we have to go repair. Here we have to do now. Because the work get hard, yes, we have to go repair the propaganda that says, well, I mean, Africa appear disease down there.
Yeah, because that is the propaganda weapon that is being used, yes, and we have to work hard to really repair it. The sound system person who was saying this to you, was it a person who was well known?
Well, I mean, the biggest this jack in Jamaica, man.
What name?
No, you know, so wait, I have to ask the virgin now what name, you know. I can't remember what name, you know. Oh, gosh, man. I want to find out where the virgin. Somebody have to call and remind me what name, bro. I remember the name, you know. I'm a virgin still, you know.
What he was saying, do not go to Africa.
He might ask the government,
yes,
to stop people from going to Africa. The artists them from going to Africa because Ebola. So when I answer, I say Africa is not a country, Africa is a continent. So not because Ebola is on the west, it means Ebola. Where the virgin name again? Yeah, the virgin say Ricky Trooper.
Ricky Trooper?
Yeah, Ricky Trooper said. Ricky Trooper.
If Ricky Trooper say that, Ricky Trooper is an idiot. He's a dunce. Africa has 54 states. Ricky Trooper is a local youth, you know, from Spanish Town. Come through my brethren, Prince Mango Sound. And if Ricky Trooper said that, and I'm glad you had to correct man thing. Totally stupid and idiotic saying. Ricky Trooper know me, local youth from Spanish Town.
Yeah, what we just say?
False propaganda. And I'm glad that you took it on.
Yeah, but we couldn't make it go with some man. We couldn't make it go with some.
No, but you know what you say, even when you explained, because of course you was cussing, you know. You explained, say, Africa is a continent, it's not a country. You say him come back and him want to take you on, I try to take you on.
When the program done, me and him out there, I say, Bridget, me have to drive go back and kill son, you know. I can't take a long talk in here at time, because I'm none of them talk. So me don't tell me I say I'm a done something. But
yeah, he that talk, man.
But here one now, here the thing with this now. Here the thing with this now. This D68 here is not confined to one state. It's not confined to one state, you know, because now we get in the report. We just get the report.
It is confined to most of the states. Most of the states.
About 53 or 52 states in America.
It is about 50. It's about 50.
Yeah, and them say 45 states. And
so that's almost all of them.
Yeah, and now it gone across the border into Canada. It gone.
You see that? Which is another country.
Yeah. So the argument is that we have never heard any ministry talk about this disease. Yet till them talk about a pig disease from America. You didn't hear the one about the pig disease?
Yes, I heard about it, you know.
The agriculture ministry is saying that we must, they are prepared for outbreak of porcine epidemic diarrhea which affects pigs. Now they say that it is not.
What you say? Which ministry? The culture ministry?
No, the health ministry. No, the agriculture.
Oh, the agriculture. Oh, I'm going to say. Well, Lisa, I'm going with. All right, agriculture. Okay.
The agriculture ministry is telling Jamaica, don't get scared. We are totally in charge that when this thing comes from America, it's not going to kill off the pig industry. But we tell you, say, it's not contagious to human beings. We cannot trust we cannot trust these people. If you go to the pig them and you eat the pig, the possibility of you catching something, maybe not it, but it can be modified when it reaches the pig, you know, to your stomach.
Yes, transfer.
Yeah, but
yes, and affect you.
Remember, say, when you look for iron in your food, you know, you don't eat the iron, you know. You eat green vegetable, and the green vegetable transform itself into iron in your body. So when the man use them in the disease, we take the arm at Christmas, and when you eat the arm, maybe you don't catch the same diarrhea thing, you know, but because it manipulates itself in the arm and go in your stomach now, and your stomach connect with something else in it, you find out, say, you have a next disease coming from America.
Yes, because it comes to you in a different form. The point of the matter is, as you're making, you still get a disease.
Yeah, so we don't want the people them take this pig disease lightly. And we're talking to the people them who eat pig, and not because me not eat pig, no, me not say it. The pig disease, the ministry say them aware it, and now the D68, the Ebola, all of these diseases, they power. The chicken gonorrhea, all of them, they power. What the hell is happening?
Yes, because that's true, prevent better than cure. And then again, this is no conspiracy thing, but you notice every regularly, you're always hearing about some so-called new disease coming out of Africa. This is deliberate, man. Every minute. Now the latest thing is Ebola.
Well, we can tell you something. You're another one.
Yes. Listen, I am not going around in the corner. This is chemical and biological warfare. Yes. Why is it that every minute you're always having so-called new diseases coming only from out of Africa. Remember the time in that time with AIDS, the time with man. Some form of chemical and biological warfare is being perpetrated.
You know, so the worst bees we don't have is the African bees that have nothing to do with Africa.
Yes.
It's like French fries. French fries have nothing to do with France, you know. But they call it French fries.
Exactly. But them stigmatize Africa, like how them stigmatize the French with, yes, in terms of that. No. And this is why what you are doing is so important. Because can you imagine if people like you and Kabu never have programs to cover this kind of false anti-African propaganda? Because our people already have been so miseducated, the Africans who form the vast majority of the population in Jamaica, that if we never have people and programs like what we have and people like us and things, the mental slavery that would be so pervasive.
Yeah.
That is why we have to have cutting edge, and that is why we have to have stepping razor and running Africa. And we need to have more programs like that, and we need to have programs like that to also on TV.
Yes.
Next thing is to drop these programs like we're having on radio, on TV, because as Marcus Garvey is saying, a philosophy and opinions, propaganda has done more to defeat people and races more than open warfare. And this is real propaganda. And I'm still waiting on the Minister Fenton Ferguson was here about a year ago and thing, and fundraising thing put on by
one time we go Africa and we dip on the trip with you know.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm kind of Africa-centered still, you know, but, you know, when a man turn a big politician now, all of these things get lick out time. I don't know it's what in a politics where.
What you say, he would have to have a bit of Africa-centered, you know, because his wife, now our friend Laxley coming from Kingston Technical and Boystown and Trenchtown, sister man.
That me I say, you know.
So, but you know, like, I forgot to talk to Laxley if you tell Laxley if he get him thing retune again. Time thing gone out of alignment.
Yeah,
I go phone Laxley later. My brethren Laxley coming from Trenchtown, Boystown and our school, Kingston Technical.
Don't call him now, do it 1 o'clock in the morning. We have to call him on him over there.
No, I'll call him later, man. You know, say with that thing, you know. But, Mota, you just have to keep on doing the good work.
Yes.
Because we have to defend it, you know. And
definitely.
Ricky Trooper, if you're listening, or those who know Ricky Trooper, tell Ricky Trooper, say, I the Mandingo, him know well. You know, look at you from Spanish Town, Ricky, that just accept the education that Mutabaruka gave you about Ebola. And don't question the teacher. Okay?
Yeah, give thanks, brethren.
Just be a good student.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Blessed love, this 10th of October.
Right. Yes, this is the cutting edge. You know, yeah, we talk about this chikungunya. Where I lick out. One of my brethren called me today and said, boy, I'm just come to Jamaica to you. I said, boy, I want to be there about here. I'll be catching tea, you know. He couldn't even call the word. He said, we catching tea. We say, yeah, that's how it go. As me, I say, I wait for my kitchen still. I don't know if I drop the ball all the while. Why it not reach me yet, but me now go say me immune to it. You understand? Because every time I talk to the mosquito, I say, Muta, look, you know, we love you still, you know, but, you know, watch how you wear certain clothes and all them things there. And you see, like how you have all the shoes, we could all take a little bite off of your toe too. You understand? So, we don't know, we could have to go borrow one of your shoes then. And we just feel a mosquito bite me in your toe. Anyway, look, you know. I want somebody did email me and say, Mota, you must call the name of the disease properly and stop saying chicken gonorrhea. The word is chikungunya. Chikungunya is a word from Africa, and it implies not walking upright. Now, I personally, I don't know if you're the next person, I personally make a deliberate attempt to don't call it chikungunya because I don't want to buy into this idea that it's an African disease. Because every time you hear them come with something, them say it's African disease. And I don't believe that is an African disease. So I refuse to call it the word an African word. Because when them bring up these disease, them give it an African name. And then psychologically, you are playing with the word and you are realizing, say, but Africa this disease come from. So you buy into the argument that disease is just Africa. So when you say chikungunya, to me, it's buying into this argument that it is an African disease because they give it an African name. I don't believe it's an African disease, and I refuse to say the African word that represents the disease. That word was in Africa long time before this disease. The word was in Africa long time before the disease. Them take the name and put on the disease now because of how it make you look when you have that disease. Why should I as an African buy into this name that is given to a disease that I am not sure if it did come from Africa? So when a man hear me say chicken gonorrhea, it's not because I can't pronounce the word, you know. But it's because I'm taking a political stand. That is what I am doing. I'm taking a political stand against the labeling of this disease and imply that it comes from Africa. And on a deeper level now, it gives you a psychological thinking that here comes a next disease from Africa. We call it chikungunya. Chikungunya is an African disease. I don't believe that. I declare that every disease that inflict man is either man deliberately created or create the environment for it to prosper in. Now, I'm not saying that disease cannot originate in Africa. I am not saying that disease cannot catch you because you're in Africa. What I am saying is that every disease, you mean every disease comes from Africa, Rasta? Did you know that they wrote that the Black Death, this disease that took all of Europe, that killed 75% of the population, them say Africa it come from? Did you know them say AIDS come from Africa? Ebola originated in Africa. Chikungunya originated in Africa. It is not unique to Africa. But you see, all of the disease, them give it an African name. At least most of the disease. It's not this one though. This one named D68. And you sue here, you know. You sue here when them investigate it, you know, say it's an African thing, you know, that affect children in Africa. But them have this propaganda machine that is in place that when you talk, it's all like you stupid. Because the majority of newscasts that is controlled and operated by them, put this in your consciousness, put this in your mindset, this is how the thing go. So, because them call it that, I know must call it that. I know must call it that. Look here, the other day when, this is serious, you know, and we look on all of them things there, people forget, you know. You remember the American them was fighting against the French people them the other day? That to the point where them want to rename French fries. French fries have nothing to do with France, you know. And the Statue of Liberty was given to the Americans by the French people. The Statue of Liberty is a French woman. It was in France. The Statue of Liberty was in France. It's a male and a female statue. Them take the female one and carry go to America. Just like how them take London Bridge and carry go America. We are say, at least I say, that I refuse to declare this disease that is afflicting Jamaican people. I refuse to call it an African name. Refuse to. Sometimes my mouth may slip and get into the thing, but the majority of times, I refuse to call it an African name. Because I know the psychology of these people. That when them give it an African name, it places Africa in a position of resentment. People start to resent it. And we see that happening right now. See? So, enough of that. I don't want nobody write me no email, but I must know better and call it the right name. All you know say is the right name. The right name is what them tell you say it name. And them tell you say it name, so you know. Them tell you say the disease name, so I don't know you are falling to it and I call it a name. They like say, yes. Me too, me say chicken gonorrhea, no, you are say, what kind of thing that you are say. All you know say it's not gonorrhea the mosquito have. Because you see a mosquito where I give, you see a mosquito where I give dengue, I give that. To all the mosquito they get that. All the mosquito mutate into that for bring that. Something else happen. Is either them create it in a laboratory and feed it to the mosquito them, or something get genetically modified between mosquitoes. Okay, so we just have to make ourselves clear with that. This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. We're coming through.
Yes, sir. You don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, man. I talk to you, man.
Yes, sir. Talk to me now.
Yeah, man.
Listen. Thank you for the information you're sharing with us. No?
Yeah, man.
I hope it eventually stop enough of us to be more African-centered.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, good time.
Because, we have a big challenge ahead of it. All these things are very suspicious,
Of course.
They come around and go around. And a lot of time these things that are out there is a kind of byproduct of some other things them are doing and find out that useful to do certain things.
Of course.
That them they don't do in the first place.
But remember the AIDS, it was the same scare they take when the AIDS come on, the same scare.
You have the AIDS and the SARS and the MARS and every damn thing.
Yes.
So it's one giant experiment going on,
Of course.
One giant experiment going on. And guess what happened? We got to wake up in Jamaica here, because them always check out things, run it through Jamaica, we see what are going on with it, or what the reaction is to it. Yeah. And introduce several things here over the past years, the last 20, 30 years.
Remember the poison flower?
Yeah, all kind of something. The Depo-Zero.
The coconut, where we didn't have the tall coconut tree, them just dead off, so.
Yeah. Mycological and biological warfare.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
but here's the problem with the pharmaceutical industry.
Mm-hmm.
The drugs they develop and test is normally done on people with low levels of
resistance.
No. Of pigment.
Yes.
Right?
Mm.
But in mainstream media or Eurocentric literature, they use the word pigment.
Yes.
Because they're avoiding what another substance, which is a key substance in human and people of African heritage, that they don't want to call or let us be aware of, and it's melanin.
Melanin, yes.
Melanin, it's a key substance in how human body function.
Of course.
So, them drugs when they make up with them people with low pigmentation or not much melanin or the ability of the body to convert in melanin. Now work for we.
No.
And now go work so well if anything happen at all.
Yes.
So sometimes I try to find out whether it will mutate or what it will do against people with high melanin content in the body or ability to.
Remember it did happen with the Tuskegee experiment, you know.
Huh?
Remember it did happen with the Tuskegee experiment in Alabama. I don't know if you know about the Tuskegee experiment. You know about the Tuskegee experiment?
Yeah, man.
They claimed that the 300 black men had syphilis and they was treating it. When they wasn't treating it, what they was doing was testing out a virus to see the effect of it on these black people and kill them off.
Yeah.
So
one of the words is, for those who want to check it out and go deeper into it, is eugenics.
Yes.
That's a activity that's going on there that we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Eugenics.
Yes, yeah, man.
Right? But, and a lot of us not doing enough to get enough vitamin D in our system. Because we have to be out in the sun a longer exposure to the sun to get the vitamin D in our system, you know.
To sustain it.
And that's a key substance again.
Of course.
But everybody walk around with parasol or umbrella and get shade from it instead of taking the opportunity to absorb the vitamin D.
Of course. Yeah, man.
So we need to understand these things and change our practice. We can't follow the European people.
I agree with you. Give thanks, brethren.
Yes,
sir.
And keep it up.
Yeah,
You're doing good.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. Yes, we are saying that after the information, you can throw where you want to throw it and deal with what you are dealing with. But we say we give you the information. So you can't say you never hear the information, you know. Maybe you should take the responsibility of not going to your representative in your area and say, because somebody will say, is that weird thing, because I remember, you know, years ago, we are talking about moons. And me assure the people them say you have some planets with all 11 moon round the planet. A youth from Cornwall, you know. Apparently the youth from Cornwall repeat it in class. And the teacher asked him, where you get that foolishness from? It's one moon and one sun them have. This is a serious thing, you know, in the 90s when the program just started. Some youth. The youth called me back and say, the teacher tell him, say, where get that foolishness from? But more than one moon and one sun. The youth say, more time did I listen to. The teacher say, you cannot listen to that damn idiot Rasta man. The teacher tell him that, you know. You cannot listen to that damn idiot Rasta man. Because in a fair sight, a one moon should say. No, it's the same thing, you know. It's the same thing we reach out now, you know. Because we are getting information now, you know. And you have people out there who still say, the idiot boy Rasta man at top on the radio. Damn foolishness. Alright. The youth go figure it out. That time we never have no computer about the place, you know. The youth go in and science book, go find out, say, when we did that say it's true, you know. Alright. You see, this argument, you know, we are gay, so now this information we are gay about the disease, them, and, you know, the reaction to it. We must remember that it's the same hype and the same fear that come with the virus named AIDS. Or it's not a virus, really. Because people not dead from AIDS, you know. People dead from the breaking down of them immune organs to relate to certain things, and them say it's AIDS. But then you can catch that from something or someone through blood. And it's not everybody who have AIDS dead, you know. you have HIV, and you have AIDS. Now, what me I say is that I remember, this is not, if I could have just find back all them cassette there in a Rasta. I remember when we go up on our stage and I talk about AIDS, you know. I talk about AIDS in the 90s, you know. And people say, Muta, where you get them foolishness from? Where you get them foolishness from? That the ministry, you think I forget these things? We play a tape named The Striker Memorandum. This man who started to tell you, say, AIDS is a man-made disease that get way. And them create this disease in a place named Maryland, in a Fort Detrick, in a Maryland. And the test was on these monkeys. And something happened where them start to use this experiment now. Them carried go to Africa. All right. The ministry. Oh gosh, man. If I could have just find back all them tape, you know, the ministry called me one night, you know. When me tell them, say, watch out, this thing here is so dangerous, you know, that maybe all the condom now go stop it. Because you have to use a special condom. The ministry called me, you know, and say, Mutabaruka, you are not a qualified doctor. They never say the doctor. They never say doctor. They say some physician. Why are you on the radio telling the people them about this AIDS virus? What do you know about this AIDS virus? And I saying, Mom, I was a woman and I said, Mom, it's just information I'm giving the people. Then you do what you want to do with it. If you don't want to do it, you throw it away. But I get this information that there is a disease that is going around that is, we're still trying to figure out where it come from, but based upon the information that I get, was man-made. It is not an African disease. It's not a green monkey disease, which is that them saying. As a matter of fact, the first time you hear about AIDS, you know, and this is that. I swear, the first time you hear about AIDS is them say is 80 it originated from. The first time you hear about AIDS, them say 80. And then now, the next time you hear about AIDS, them say is the Cuban them carried go Africa. It's all sort of juggling a go on, you know. Them say is the Cuban them carried go Africa. Then now, the information start come out more and more and more and more. And it become like a scare factor now where you say now, see then now, it's a gay disease. And then the church people, them dump on it now. So you who is heterosexual, you know, in your heart, you say you can't catch AIDS because you not sleep with man. And then them realize about weird. Some big guys, big guys now, I get it, and them are not homosexual. Them says, what is? And I realize about it's not a homosexual disease. Because man I say, boy, God have punish people, and God have this, and God have that, and God have that. But you know me, I say no. It look same way, it have the same look to me right now, like the AIDS epidemic, where they take over the world the other day. Where so much people, well, people still get AIDS, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know. Whole heap of people still get AIDS, you know. But guess what? AIDS is off the table now as weapons of mass destruction. You see? Because now, them still don't find the cure for AIDS, you know. But there is cure for AIDS. Because them use it. Anytime them want to use it, them use it among certain people. But amongst other people, them won't get it. That's when them say, Uganda. One time Uganda did have the biggest amount of AIDS victims, you know. And I don't know where the Uganda and them do, you know. Because we must remember, you know, that the Roman Catholics used to go to Africa and tell the people them can't use condom. Condom is a sin for use condom. So, because the people them have sex, and them in this Roman Catholic idea, And them no want to use a condom because them say God, it's better them catch AIDS than God seen them. It's better them catch AIDS than God seen them. But somewhere along the line, the African them vibes up to the thing and realize, but wait, we're not going to make this thing a continue, so you know. So them start to put things in place to make the thing less and less and less. So right now, you know, you're in a big argument about AIDS in Africa again, you know. When last you hear about some big thing about AIDS in Africa. AIDS still there Africa, you know. AIDS still there Africa. But them shift the propaganda. Because it's not the first Ebola did rise up, you know. Ebola did rise up already, you know. But it never reached the epidemic stage, yeah. Ebola did kill people long time in Africa. In the 80s, 70s, Ebola did deb out. But now, the scourge of the Ebola reached up an epidemic proportion now that when you look, you see little different organisms, viruses start to pop up here, there, and everywhere. And them have to get African name. And the scare factor continue. Nobody telling you to don't go to China, because right now China have the worst outbreak of dengue in the past 25 years. You hear anybody tell you don't go to China? Dengue is serious you know where Chinese live? Chinese population are the biggest population. 1/3 of the world are Chinese. The biggest population are Chinese. I think Indian come next, but the Chinese population is so big that them live on water and we go a certain place. Trust me, it's not a good sight. So dengue and the chicken gonorrhea is something where it's an epidemic in China. You think it's only Africa this thing are there? In China, if they want to be honest, China, chicken gonorrhea and dengue is a big problem in China. So when you hear them say, they might give the thing African name, which one of the diseases them have a Chinese name? With all we are gone. With all we are gone. Them now go take Mama Africa from we again. Them could have said this and said that and said that. We are going to leave the planet here. We are going to dead and maintain that Africa, because them know it, Africa will rise again. Maybe I won't be here to see it, but I guarantee you that. And I guarantee my grandpicking them that Africa will rise again. And we're not going to stop because we recognize the importance of not stopping. Because if we stop now, that near we supper. And we have done the supper already. But watch out, Africa will rise again. And we are going to make sure so that happen. Then you think so, all when me gone here, so now, me just gone, so, me live forever. Live forever. That is a figment of our imagination. Yet children know, say, everyone live, but guess what? You say, as long as man live, man exists. As long as man live, man will exist. And man can't destroy the planet. But we know say the planet will destroy man. Because man create evil things against man. Man sit down in a laboratories. Man sit down in a assemblies. Man sit down in a conference and plan and scheme against the people. But the earth will not suffer. The poor and the earth will not stand by and see Africa demise, because Africa will rise again. And not care where you say happening so now. Them know that. That is why them are run go Africa so. That's why China in Africa so much. That's why white people pick up the plane them and go Africa. And it's very difficult for you to show Jamaican people say this thing happening because them not experiencing it. But we who travel on plane see that. I tell you about leaving New York for go to South Africa. The plane left New York, go to Cape Verde, stop at Cape Verde, and maybe out of the most 300 people there on the plane, I could have about 10 people come off of Cape Verde. But you see when the plane reach at Senegal, when the plane reach at Senegal, most of the black people them come off, and are mostly white people there on the plane. And I know most of them are not South African. Most of them are business people. The other day we go South Africa. We stay in Atlanta. I take the Delta. We could have count the only other black people. It's about 10 black youth. I see I go down on the plane. And the reason why, when we realize it as some hip-hop youth, I don't know if they are going to make way for Jay-Z. It's like they are go before. Because Jay-Z was supposed to come along there with Beyonce. And the youth, them dead there. About 10 of them. Me, going to make all 11. They don't even look like a 10 of them neither. But the rest are pure white people there on the plane. Where so much white people are go? Them are go because they recognize say Africa is the final frontier. Africa is the final frontier. And yes, if we don't recognize that, we're going to perish with America and the West. Africa is the final frontier. If we don't start develop relationship with Africa, I'm serious too. If you don't really develop relationship with Africa, fast. The Chinese man and the white people are going to take it over. That's not going to take over Jamaica. And where we are going there? If we not keep right on the price, them going little more when you I want. You see, it's difficult for you to show people these things, and the people them just blind and can't recognize it. You know, just talk because you're stupid, or you're fool, or true you're rasta, make you say them foolishness there. Or something where real we are talking about. We're not talking about no religion. We are talking about something we're real, we're faced, we're confronted, just like the chicken gun, we're confronted in our eye, and the government, they know say it's going to take place and never prepare for it. And now we see the Prime Minister go down in our constituency, one of the worst constituencies in Jamaica, such as clean up and help people to clean up. One day clean up can't work, and now them say they're going to spend how much? $5 billion for clean up Jamaica. Me I tell them, say if them give me $1 billion out of that, me clean up Jamaica, and if me not clean it up, arrest me. Because $5 billion is not money I go clean up Jamaica, you know. It's the mentality of the people them. It's the mentality of the people that go and clean up Jamaica. It's not money. Go and clean it up. Because you says you go down a plain land and take up some garbage and pack it up in a box, and then when you look round, garbage man no come. And you have a man now decide, say, boy, right now, him can eat something and throw out of the window. You have to go stay down at your constituency and clean it up every day. You think that the Prime Minister will go down at our constituency every day? No. Unless you go build up wall, or you go no clean up nothing, or when voting time come. That's all them do. That's all them do. And then now tell the people them about they must clean up them surrounding. Then wait there, a chicken gunnery have to come at Jamaica for you tell the people them to clean up them surrounding and serious about it that you're going to spend. If you tell me say you're going to spend $5 billion to clean up Jamaica, you know, that means that you admit that Jamaica nasty. And I will call something that happen here right, a mosquito make you clean up Jamaica. And the people them you should have make you clean up Jamaica. Mosquito are gonna make you clean up the place and spend $5 billion to clean up Jamaica. Then when the $5 billion done, and the people them still a throw the back them out of the road, and still a make the dog them kick over the thing in the middle of the road, and the rat them and the roach them and all them things they were in the garbage. You never know say rat can pass and chicken gonorrhea too. Rat can pass it on to you know. So where gonna happen? Where gonna happen? When you spend all of that money and the mind of the people them, you not correct the mind of the people them. You have to attack the mind of the people them, just like how you attack their mind and tell them to them nothing go to Africa. That's why you tell them about chicken, where you take the chikungunya. You call it an African name. And so you have to attack the people them mind. Because that is an attack on the people them mind. When you call a disease an African name continuously, and then the people them succumb to your little irrational thinking, so them disregard them ancestral home and ancestral land. When a wicked, not only wicked, not only corrupt, but no wicked. I am talking to a bridge the other day, and a long time I don't see him to, you know. And sarcastically, I say, so we'll last go Africa. Sarcastically, I say it, you know. Like me no know sarcasm, you know. So when me say, well, you watch me just come from South Africa, you know. Me just come from South Africa. I mean, they are Nigeria too. I mean, they are Senegal. I mean, they are Gambia. In a 1 year. Me just come from there. And him look at me like, you know, I say, weird. Only thing say, oh, go like them. And the funny thing, you know, him the same a Rasta too. Him was a Rasta. Him the same was Rasta too, you know. Him was once a Rasta, you know. And if you saw the man ask me the thing, you know, like, yeah, man, you know, like him never even know something just come from Africa. Him never even know that. You know, see, I'm start to reload all of the country them when we go. Reload all of the country them when we go. It's a terrible thing. And you know, you have to pass through America or Europe when you go to them country there. So how it will work out? How it will work out? How it is going to work out? Because me don't know how we and them are going to work it out. Believe you me. But we'll continue the journey. We see Brian there so till 8 minutes to 2. We love that. And him not sleep. All about this twist up him ear. Go and twist up your ear, man. Alkaline too twist up feewood too, you know. You think alkaline I got twist up feewood. Alright, sir. I tell you.
What a disrespect. That taking with your people and the servants here.
Alright, I could start over the studio. Come again, Muta. I could start over the studio. I work for Moon of this a while ago. Here we go.
What a liberty. What a disrespect. Of each other there. Man, king, one boy.
Cutting edge. Here. Let me turn on.
Muta?
Yes.
Hey, King, man. Me credit done, you know, as you put me on the credit done. Archangel off a pinnacle me there.
Okay.
We did have a different argument in regards to the AIDS thing, you know.
Hey.
Yeah, man, it was all about search money, you know. It wasn't really, it was a gear disease. But because the man then wasn't going to get money because it was just a gear disease, because everybody would have their punishment. Them say it's a heterosexual, so they can get funding.
No, nobody never said it was a heterosexual disease.
No, them say it can spread to heterosexual.
No,
to get funding.
No, all right, that's how you hear.
What's the genocide lecture by the ATPG? They broke it down. The AIDS virus is actually a phantom disease, man. And the medication and gear will brush you off.
All right, sir. So I'm credit gone. The man credit gone and just start. Alright, here we go again. How that just coming a while ago? Matrix? Neil? And Neil come on now? Oh, what is my lad? Neil come on now? Then who are there with me tomorrow morning? After I'm done work, I saw him going to work tomorrow in the day too.
But me, I work with right after my lessons, so.
Yeah, but yeah, all call. You can't work. yeah, work. Yeah, you can work with right after you all call. Them should have put you on all tonight too.
Take you with your people and the servants deep. Ladies on your shoulder, if you trouble the black man king.
Hey, Neil, you know, you look strange inside that son. Demo was a night, yeah. You look strange in that rasta. Where Matrix there? Right. Matrix gone with it? Matrix gone with it for true, you know. You know, so a 2 times catch it now, you know. So, wait there, Matrix gone with it for true, you know. Alright, what do you mean, no? So, why you work tonight? Matrix gone with it, man. Believe you me, Matrix gone with it. Just wait. There's no other explanation. You think Matrix are going to left this, we go do something else? I didn't know I got for it. No, man, I got him gone with it, man.
Ladies on your shoulder, if you trouble black man king. Ladies on your shoulder, if you trouble black man king.
You want to say over there with the cut stepping razor, the art of war, from 2 to 5:45, little more from this Thursday. So while you tune in again, don't feel no way if you hear the same thing over again. Believe you me, yes. Don't feel no way, you understand? That's how it go, yes. But you know, so we have a tape, hey, we have something to play tomorrow where little more, you know. We're going to blow your mind, you know. Yeah, man, but the same Ebola thing, yeah. And certain, where we call auto, not well, maybe the cure, some cure where them at go on like say them now make the people them get it. Yes, tomorrow is something. You have to listen to it, believe you me. We have some article where we talk about the other newspaper, not Jamaica newspaper, but other newspaper where I reveal certain things. But there's one at tape where we have here who can shock you. Believe you me. And we're glad say we can play that the day too. Because first time we could not go play them today at the night because we never have a day program. But we're glad to have a day program and now can play these things that the people them can hear where are going who can set up later night. So you can't afford to miss it. Stepping razor, the art of war.
Behavior like those they don't